Now, in the USA, where I'm based, the parties can live and die based on how the economy is going. So, in terms of how you feel Malaysia can survive the current situation, will people's votes, will your position be affected very much by how the economy develops here?
I believe the economy will be the main issue, and that is why we have to address the economy. We are fortunate that the Malaysian economy is stronger and more resilient today than, say, 10 years ago when we faced the Asian financial crisis.
I know you have adjusted your predictions for the growth, I think, down to about 3.5% from 5.3 or something. In terms of, is that a realistic situation considering the global economic downturn? Can you be fairly resilient to that?
Well, for this year, we've predicted we will get 5% growth, and we are on course to get that 5%. We might even get slightly higher than 5% for this year. Next year, we've targeted 3.5%. That 3.5% is predicated on two things. One, that the fiscal incentive or fiscal stimulus package, which I announced early in November, that package is implemented speedily, then that will add to the growth for next year. And secondly, there'll be no serious downturn in external global markets beyond what we predict. But if things change, then we will revise our growth rates accordingly. There is no harm in doing that. Singapore has revised its growth rates 4 times.
What are the signs for you? I mean, a lot of people made predictions. No one predicted quite how much things would go down.
Yes, we must be prudent. We must prepare for the worst. We must consider this as a crisis. And it's a kind of a state that, you have to put your mind into managing a crisis. And you must be able to respond accordingly. And you must be very prudent in whatever you do.
How do you see Malaysia positioning itself regionally? I mean, if it is fairly resilient economically, if it is looking to reform and be the new Malaysia, how do you see it in terms of its neighbours positioning itself within the regional economic and sort of political pacts that take place?
I think we are in a very good position in strategic terms, because where we are located, we are actually a gateway to China, if you like. We also have strong links with India and the Middle East, and we're also part of ASEAN. So Malaysia is uniquely placed. Plus, of course, the Malay archipelago, which means that we have this unique position of being able to leverage on our links with the various centers in this part of the world.
Of course, people look for, strength, political strength. An email that came in touched on the reform of the government that we've touched on a bit already, but this one came in from Nasser Al-Kalantani here in Kota Baru in Malaysia. He says, bribery in the UMNO party election campaign is said to be rampant. What is your plan to combat the plague? And what are your plans to restore the declining confidence in the BN coalition government and particularly UMNO?
We have to combat money politics in UMNO. It's become a main issue. We've given full mandate to the committee. There is a special disciplinary committee which is looking into this. And they're gathering facts. And hopefully some action will be taken against those involved in money politics. Actions have already been taken, but I think people expect more to be done, more actions to be taken.
Enough to build confidence, as the viewer is asking?
Well, I hope so, but it is a journey, it's a process which cannot happen overnight. But there must be that strong push and political will to eradicate money politics.
Okay. A thought here, Malaysia is often put up as an example of how a secular and modern Islam can be practiced. What do you think it is about Malaysian society that justifies this kind of view?
Well, you just look around, what do you see? You see Islam in this country being applied in a way that we are true to the fundamental teachings of Islam, but at the same time, Islam that is consonant with progress, with technology, and with tolerance with the other religions in this country. So I think we are a good face of Islam to the world.
A lot of people feel that in other Islamic countries that it's often the economic situation, a downturn, perhaps political ideology changing, that can lead to the conversion of especially young people into extremism. Is that in any way a threat you've had to face here?
It's not a serious threat, but we have to be vigilant about it. There could be a few individuals who will try to interpret Islam in an extreme and myopic way and could mislead some of the young people. Some of them have been taken in as a result. But generally speaking, people are very moderate in the way they see Islam being applied in this country.
I was wondering if you'd seen any examples of, as you say, where you've had to deal with the issue.
Oh, yes. We had this group a few years ago, very extremist group, and they stole arms from one of the army camps. And the guru had a following amongst young people like engineers and technocrats and so forth.
Well, Datu Seri, Najib Razak, thank you very much for being with us. It was good to have you on the show.